going on about strawberry, but strawberry is clearly the worst ice cream in Neapolitan ice cream.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's the worst one. Everyone's like, oh, everyone loves fucking chocolate ice cream, most popular ice cream ever. Vanilla, is the most popular ice cream ever because it's like just standard. It's like it's like plain ice cream.
It's just got the
somehow
numbers.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
That's true.
It enhances every other
And then
flavor.
you're like, oh, strawberry is for like children. No
So
one's into-
somehow, when they're making the
No.
deal, strawberry guys were like, "Yeah, can we get in this Neapolitan thing?"
yeah, they don't belong there.
yeah. And
They're
they're
totally,
like,
the strawberry guys are totally outclassed.
and they're like, "We got in. We're in the Neapolitan." Well, here's the real question:
Ice
though.
cream.
Is there a country that has the same colors as the Neapolitan ice cream?
Ooh.
Probably. Not.
Brown, pink, and a little
like
off-white.
the worst country ever.
It's Beer Friday, a group of animators getting together to swap stories and see whose is better. And of course, drink some beer. Yeah, Beer Friday is finally here.
I'm Richard Johnson, your co-host, Beer Friday, and I'm here with co-host Brent Bouchard.
Hey guys.
And we're here with guest John Young.
Hello.
And Meatstick, also known as Steven Garcia, I think.
Hello.
Can we just call you Meatstick the whole time?
You just call me Meatstick. How many Steves are out there? Too many.
Yeah.
And it-
Meatstick's one.
And is it safe to say that you're both storyboard artists?
We are.
That's
I
a
will
safe
accept
bet.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a safe
Is that a
assumption.
safe
Been in
thing
the
to
industry
say?
for, I guess, 14 years or so. I started out at AKA.
So you're a rookie.
Rookie, yeah.
I didn't know you started at AK.
yeah. I worked, my first job was with Steve.
John and I both started at AKA. So I've worked in the same amount of time as John.
So
Actually,
you guys started on the same show.
started on
We
the same
started
show.
on the same show.
Within a week of each other,
Yeah.
or a couple weeks. Meatstick started a couple weeks after me, and my thought when he started was, "Oh, I can keep pace with this guy."
Right.
And then within a month, I was like, "Oh shit!"
So what was that? Was that Ed and Eddie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
John flatters me so. I too started, at AKA, fresh out of Vancouver Film School. Went into AKA. Actually, sorry, I'm just gonna say, started at AKA, went through to various places, DHX, which was Studio B back in the day as well. Worked at Monkey Paw. Worked for Color Media, which was John Cantley's little company. When we were making a pilot episode for him and stuff, that's where I learned CG animation, which was a lot of fun to learn. Went over to Rainmaker, worked on Escape from Planet Earth. Then I heard word of the Littlest Pet Shop. Went over to Storyboard for that place at DHX on that show. And then after that, Dr. Dimension Pants, which I know you guys are definitely attached to, and I loved that show. That was a really funny show. We did some Global Mechanics stuff, some little Flash cartoons here and there and everything. And then after in Pet Shop, I got promoted to director of Littlest Pet Shop after Dallas Parker was going to leave the show. So got finally some directing cred. Nice. And worked on that for a couple of years. Got moved to Cloud with A Chance of Meatballs. And now I'm a free agent.
So we got, it's actually Andina, not Adios.
Oh, it's not. It's Andina. Okay.
Andina.
Wouldn't that be a great name for a beer, though?
Adios. Dude,
Just
I like
like
Adios
you're
a lot
gone.
better.
It's the session ale that they have.
Oh, yeah, cool.
It's pretty good.
this
So
is
it's like a
Andina.
4%.
Everybody says you got to let beer age a little bit before it tastes really good, kind of like wine, but you want to let it just age, just breathe a little bit.
Right.
I disagree. Right out of the keg, fresh is the
You
best
basically just-
tasting
like-
fucking thing you will ever have.
Like, just eat a handful of malt.
Yeah. Just open up the vat and let the glucose and malt just let it converge in your stomach. Oh,
You can be the you brew.
Story time.
All right. Well, my story is about back in the day at AKA Cartoons. I ran out of batteries for my Sony Walkman, and this guy, James Wooten, known as Woody by those who love him, offered to give me a couple of AA batteries to put in my Sony Walkman. Except after offering them to me, he then said, in order for you to have these batteries, you cannot shave or cut your hair for the remainder of the time you work here. And I was like, all right. I was like, just give me the batteries.
Yeah.
And so he gave me the batteries. And then he's like, well, wait. There has to be some sort of consequence if you if you just go ahead and continue to shave and groom as normal.
Right.
So he said, how about this? If you end up cutting your hair or shaving, we get to pin you down and shave your entire body.
Oh boy.
And I was like, all right, that sounds fair. So as I was leaving that evening on my walk home, I thought to myself, I got it. I got the most genius idea. I'll just go home and shave my entire body from head to toe,
Right.
including my eyebrows. And then I'll be out of the deal, and I'll have these AA batteries for free, basically.
Yeah.
So I got home and I announced to my 3 male roommates that they were gonna be shaving my body that night.
Oh boy.
So yeah, they shaved everything, my ass, my whole body, everything. And then I came into work the next day, and I truly was king for a day.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, this surpasses everything. We've never seen such a
Wow.
great thing. There's this guy, Dan Suey, who's a great character from back at AKA.
Right.
And he came running into the room. He'd heard tell of what had happened. And he arrived, and he took one look at me, and I looked like an alien.
Yeah.
And he says, but why after one day?
Wow.
He is not lying over this. We
Yeah.
have pictures. And
I'm
the
dying to
guy-
see pictures.
He looked like powder.
Yeah.
He looked like powder. It was so
Yeah.
creepy
Wow.
and weird.
So-
wanted to look. We wanted to, like, you wanted to talk to him. You wanted to laugh with him and stuff, but you're just like, you got creeped out by him.
Yeah.
God, but it
So-
was awesome.
He wanted to continue being his friend, but
Yeah.
his physical
So
appearance
because
was
it-
too
Yeah.
disturbing.
That's the day I realized that I can't be friends with an ugly
I can't
person.
look a man in the eye if
Right.
he doesn't have eyebrows.
Yeah, you just can't.
Because
I'm
it
just
happened,
kidding about that, by the
because
way.
it happened so quick, were you secretly dying to just shave your whole body and face and eyebrows?
He must have been, or he just
No,
must
I
have been.
realized on the way home it was
Yeah.
like a loophole.
Mhm.
You know?
Well, no, I get that with the bet, but like a part of you was like, and this is something I've been dreaming about doing for years.
But
No,
hold.
it never
No.
occurred to me.
But
why-
he did win the day.
But I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you did.
I can't pass up an idea
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
I have 2 stories, one of them involving John. 8 o'clock in the morning. This was just like a month ago, maybe. Yeah, a month ago. Sounds about right. And I came to work, and I was so tired. God, I was so tired. It was after, like, doing something. I forgot, finishing a board or whatever. Anyways, went to the washroom, sat on the can, and went, you know what? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to take a fucking nap in the washroom. So I on the shitter. So like sitting on the shitter, not like laying on the floor or something stupid, on the shitter. And this is how it goes with our DHX sweatshirts that we got. I rolled it up, made a pillow out of it, put it on the fucking toilet paper dispenser, and just head down, and there we go. So I was on the shitter like that, fully clothed, no pants off or anything, right? So I'm just like, I just want a quiet space. And so I sat there, and I was so tired. How long did I sleep for?
It was
Till
like 1 in the afternoon.
till
when
like
you
probably
came
I think 2 in the afternoon, and they were. My hour nap turned into like a. Think about the ass that was asleep, the legs that were asleep, everything. Like I didn't know. I had no feeling. Whole production was looking for me. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Because they saw that I had logged in, and they knew that I was at work, but they had no idea where I was.
So you were in like the new building in one of those little like private rooms.
Yeah, one of those little private washrooms, and
Like every 20 minutes, someone was there. Click, click,
Yeah. Yeah.
1 to 2, that's kind of a lunch break, right?
Yeah,
No. It was 8 in the fucking morning until 2.
Until 2. Yeah.
I love that you got
Yeah, you got to catch the fact that it was 8 in the morning. Went to the washroom, made my little bed, made my little pillow, started falling asleep, slept till 2 p.m. No work, no nothing. They didn't even know what to do. They didn't even know what to, like, should we pay this guy or what? Because when I came out, I was so disoriented and I was like, oh, great. I missed so much work. What the hell has happened? Everybody's looking for me. And I came out and went, you know what? I can't fucking lie about this. I can't make up any story to fucking lie about this. So I just went, I gotta tell the truth. I gotta say exactly what happened.
It's like
I didn't get in trouble. They all just laughed at it. They just laughed.
The thing is also, Meatstick does have a tardiness issue. So when he arrived,
you got in early that day.
when he,
I know, right? Right? In the bathroom. That's the
when
ironic
he-
thing. Is
when he arrived, when he entered the room, at 2 p.m. When he entered the room at 2 p.m., none of us were really that surprised.
Yeah.
And he sort of was like kind of weird. I was like, what is up with him a little bit? And he's like, sorry. He's like still kind of out of it.
I have a big red mark on my
Yeah,
head.
he's like-
from the fucking toilet dispenser. I just chalk it up to like, yeah, fell asleep on the can. I guess I was pretty comfortable there. And when I understand that when I was in the washroom, I had to take about 20 minutes before I could get out of the washroom because as soon as I stood up, I collapsed. Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck? I felt like an imperial walker that's going around just, what the hell? I'm like, did I land on my feet right? Are my joints all screwed up now? And because
Well, the thing
I
is,
couldn't
too,
feel a thing.
Is it sort of an event when he gets to work? Everyone sort of goes, hey, it's Meatstick!
Like Norm
And he
at Cheers.
Yeah, it's sort of like Norm at Cheers, and he had this sort of weird look on his face, and we're all kind of like, no. We're like, Meatstick. And he kind of looked at me like, don't even. He's like, not right now. Like, I'm having a weird day. I was like, what's up?
The other story is it includes this Scott Underwood character as well as John and myself and the whole AKA crew. He looked outside and called everybody over as there were some people of a certain flavor down in that neck of the woods, you know.
Down and out types.
This is the downtown east side.
This is downtown east side. The
Crackville, heroin
exactly.
town.
Scott and Big Jim Miller saw outside that these two were going at it out in the alley, right?
Right.
And so of
Fighting
course,
or fucking or what?
fucking.
Oh.
She was giving him a BJ or something like that, and so this was right out in the alley.
Stuff was happening.
And so it was just perfect timing. You know, one of those things that. How often does that happen with a megaphone? Scott pulls out the megaphone, and we all crowd around the windows, and we're all in the windows looking out. And Scott turns it on. Cease and desist immediately. Blah, blah, totally making it sound like the cops. We're all busting a gut laughing because you see the guy, you see the girl, she's cleaning up her mouth and everything, and he's like putting on the pants back on quickly. They're just running out. They run out, scurrying away. Oh my God, we're in trouble. We're caught by the cops. They booked it from that. I think the guy didn't even have his pants on as he's running down the street. But the funniest moment for me was when John turned around from the window, shit-eating grin on his face, just happier than shit, and just goes, holy shit, we're going to single-handedly clean up this town.
Yes.
Like we're fucking superheroes.
No.
He was so optimistic. It was
I
so
don't.
great.
What's funny is I don't remember that, but what I do remember is Scott always. I don't remember that at all. But I do remember Scott always had that megaphone, and he used to speak to the sort of derelict, crazy guys in the alley.
Yeah.
And one time, the line I remember best was he turned on the megaphone and he says, because they don't know where this voice is coming from.
Yeah.
And Scott announces,
This
is God.
Nice.
He says, get your life together.
Snack time.
Okay, so I have a story. I know we just had nachos and that was fun, but I wanted to have a story because it just happened to me last week. There's a restaurant just down here that Deb and I have never went to for some reason. I always thought it was like a fancy place, like you had to get a reservation. But then we're walking by and we're like, hey, well, let's go here today. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And it's called Salmon and Bannock. It's indigenous food.
Nice.
This restaurant's always like on the top like 50. I think they were in the top 50 for Georgia Strait or something. And the waitress came up and go, hey, yeah, we have some specials today. We have like moose, deer, and
Bear.
elk. But how adventurous are you? And I went,
On a scale of 10, I'm a 0.
It's human meat. How do you like that?
it was sea lion.
Yeah? You know what?
Hey, killer
No.
whales eat it.
Yeah. It seems like like when you cut through all the fat, what's in there even, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what would that taste
Maybe the
like?
fat tastes
Isn't that
really
kind of
good.
like a dog?
Well, it looks like a dog.
No, it's a
Yeah.
lot like a lion,
A
actually.
sea cat.
Can I?
Sea
Basically.
lion.
The killer whales.
Yeah.
They eat sea lions. They love sea lions. Now, think about that.
Sorry,
They-
who eats sea lions?
killer whales.
Okay.
Killer
Orca
whales in
whales.
general. They
Yeah.
just and they play with it and they really like they torture the thing
They
before
play with
they
their
eat it.
food.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, but here where I just saw, we all probably watched that documentary Blackfish.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I didn't
and
see that, but
well,
I
it
know
says
I know
it's-
all about it. Yeah.
It says in there that science has shown that the killer whale has more emotions than humans, like 3 times the amount of
Oh
emotion.
wait, no, I did see Blackfish. Yeah.
So then why are they killing cute little sea lions?
Mm-hmm.
If they have 3 times the emotion, well, shouldn't they be like, this is really a douchebag meat stick thing?
Right.
These are the types of questions that I ask
Yeah.
John all the
Yeah.
time.
Meatstick's been hitting the bone.
Why are they so mean to these sea lions?
Right.
Shouldn't they be like?
Because they have 3
Oh, they're
times the
so cute.
emotions, but they don't have human emotions.
Oh, I
you
know.
saying-
I know you were gonna argue with that.
Are you saying because they're not eating them for food, they're just fucking around with them?
Yeah, they fuck around with them so much
Right.
first. Like they're not just going, shit, I'm starving.
It's like, why does a cat bite the legs off a mouse and bat it around and not eat it? Or
yeah,
whatever?
if it's not like it,
Well, because they can have emotions, but not ethics. Like animals don't have
Or
ethics.
no, it's empathy is what
Yeah.
you were talking about. Yeah.
yeah, it's not
Or I
like
think-
ethics. I don't think has anything to do with it. You would
It's-
go, you could ethically be sound, but if you're hungry, you go into the woods or you go
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
jungle
but
or
you wouldn't
something. You're
fuck
killing
around
the
with
first
it.
thing.
But it's empathy, right? It's like they don't know, like they don't empathize with the thing. Like there's no
Yeah,
way
they're
to
not-
say that, right?
right.
That's why that always leads me back to humans are selfish
Mm-hmm.
because then we always think what's
We portray our emotions
yeah
on other
we,
animals. Yeah.
exactly. We go like, how would I feel
Yeah.
if this happened? How would I feel?
Because you think your brain would be in that orca whale, but it wouldn't be.
It
that.
wouldn't be. The orca whale's thinking of one thing.
Yeah.
I want that food, but I want to play with it first.
It would
and
go
I'm
for
gonna-
whatever reason. I want to chew on that thing.
Yeah,
No, but
Yeah.
animals do show.
But we do that with other things,
that's true.
bugs and whatever. You know, like
Can we just all
like,
agree that
but-
life is as complicated?
But
Yes,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have time to talk about it.
I see Rich in the corner going, "Fuck, we're supposed to
Holy
talk about
shit.
animation, and here
Okay.
you are."
Favorite thing.
I got Crave. I finally subscribed to
Yeah,
Crave.
Crave.
Nice. Should watch all the South Parks.
I just started watching a little bit of that too. I haven't watched South Park in a long time, so
So
it's
good.
kinda
It's so
nice.
good to revisit and then go, "Oh yeah, that's right. They're kings of comedy."
Yeah.
He doesn't agree.
I don't.
you don't like South Park.
It's not that I don't like it. Come on. I just find it offensive. It offends me.
Come
Why?
on. There's no way.
They've gone after guys like me before. I'd be like, but wait a minute. It was funny when it was everyone else.
I've been the victim of South Park myself as well.
You're like, well, you
You're
dicks.
just going, "Ah man."
no
I haven't
reason, no
watched
reason
it.
to take me to task.
I haven't
Sorry,
watched it
Rich.
in like 10 years. Anyway, go on.
What? No.
I'm off.
You like
Um,
Crave TV.
Yeah. So one of the shows I've been watching on there is The Meltdown. It's in LA somewhere. It's in the back of a comic book store, and I think Jim Gaffigan was in there, but he did like 2 jokes. So all the segments are like really short, and sometimes it's just random weird shit that happens that's funny.
Yeah.
It's anchored on stand-up, but then it kind of breaks up. But then they always go into the green room, and they'll cut away from someone's stand-up and go in the green room, and you'll see some shit happening back there. It's hilarious.
So basically, they just record anything, and whatever's funny, they just kind of put on.
And I think sometimes that night goes into 2 episodes.
That's fantastic.
It's so
that sounds
great.
like a fun show.
Yeah, it's really, they have 3 seasons right now, and they're really addicting.
Well, I'm subscribed to Crave, and I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, it's
So
awesome.
am I. I'm going to check that out too.
Yeah.
I don't have Crave, but I'm jealous.
There you go. Nice work.
Anyway,
Nice.
that's mine.
Right on.
Sure, man.
Right on. I've been watching a lot of Cinemassacre lately, which is
Dude, yeah, you have.
you like it, eh?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Cinemassacre is an angry video game nerd who is
Yeah.
he's been around for a while now, and he's just got his own website now. I just look at YouTube stuff over and over, and I see what the social justice warriors are doing, see what certain politics are happening and whatnot and everything. But then it always just boils down to like, I'm tired of this stuff. I don't want to look at what's going on with the world. It's all screwed up right now. Everybody's got so many different opinions. Let's go down to basics again. Video games. And then there's and you have this guy who's pretty charismatic, and he talks about video games and how crappy they were, and like kind of like talks about relatable things that's why he's so popular. Like he's good, he's talented himself.
Well, I know that guy. I just didn't know about Cinema Massacre.
Cinemassacre is just his site. Like it's what he
Because he does the video game stuff. He also does movie reviews. He
Yeah.
does like monster movie stuff from like the and he goes on and he does board game reviews. He does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the
Board
board
James,
James,
yeah.
which is really funny. He just and he puts on little shows, little skits. Sometimes they can last 10 minutes, sometimes they're 6 minutes or whatever. But they're funny and they're charming. And he does a lot of callback to a lot of jokes that have kind of happened before. But he does his own little play on them and stuff. And it's refreshing. It's funny. But I did want to mention that I don't really. You might want to edit this out, but I don't like his friend. I get annoyed.
Mike?
Yes, I get so annoyed with Mike. I find him like...
Why are you afraid to offend Mike? Is this a person that we could
Because this is
potentially-
probably going to go online, and he might listen to it. He might be like, hey, I want to know
You're
more
not
about
being
animation.
a troll.
And then...
You're just having an opinion.
I'm just
it's
having an
okay.
opinion.
That would be
It's a
brutal for
review.
Mike.
Well,
I'm
if
about-
just randomly he's listening to some weird Vancouver podcast, and it's like, and I don't like Mike.
Mike Matei is his
Right.
name.
I think
And-
it's
You're
okay
like,
to
oh,
not
cool.
like Mike.
They're talking about us.
Well, just for example, there was an incident where they're playing Contra together.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of talking to you, Brent, because
I've seen
these guys
a
don't
lot of
really-
these videos.
you see
Me and Rich's eyes have glazed
yeah,
over.
the eyes have glazed over, and you're
I
just
have follow-up questions. But yeah.
but there was this one. The reason, like, here's an example of why I don't like the guy, because they're sitting there playing Contra,
Right.
and James goes a little too fast and gets him killed.
Right.
And he, instead of going like, "Oh, dude, you're going fast," this is all good fun.
He gets genuinely
He
pissed.
gets genuinely pissed, and
Yeah,
he just seems like that kid that,
I-
just
I'll
these are
agree with-
my toys and my.
I'll agree with you on a little bit of that. Like Mike, when he's doing his Mike videos alone, he'll get really pissed and he'll get like there's a moment where you go like, oh man, dial it back a second,
Especially talking to people who are
Yeah,
chiming in on him and stuff.
I'm gonna
and then-
fucking defend this Mike guy.
But
Yeah,
no,
you watch it.
No, I will.
But,
I'm gonna tell you why I defend this Mike guy. I like an enthusiastic cat.
yeah.
Like back when everyone was getting pissy about this is going way back. Remember when Tom Cruise?
enthusiastic cat.
No, remember when Tom Cruise got up on that couch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he was jumping and he was so excited because he got to marry Katie Holmes. First of all, who wouldn't be excited to marry Katie freaking Holmes?
Right.
And everyone was like, "Oh, Tom Cruise, why are you jumping
He's
on this
crazy.
couch?
He's crazy.
No.
But he is crazy, isn't he?
Well, that aside, look, the point is the guy was showing a little enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Who gives
yeah,
a
yeah.
shit?
He made a bad choice, I guess. Yeah.
No,
jumping
he
on
didn't
the
make a
couch.
bad choice. He made a great choice.
Jumping on the couch.
Well, I
Marry
just say,
Katie Holmes.
Listen, as we say this, John's on a couch right now. He's jumping. It's
Jumping on
it's
the
the
couch.
weirdest
can
thing.
you please stop jumping on the couch?
Anyway, Tom Cruise and this
Put that
Mike
away.
guy, they're all
Yeah.
fine by me.
Yeah, yeah.
You're wrecking the pillows.
Well, I have to agree with you. I have to agree
He's
that
come
the,
around on
There
Mike.
you go.
then the
That was easy.
enthusiasm. No, I'm not coming around on Mike. I'm coming around on friggin' what's his nuts
on Cruise.
Cruz, Mr. Cruz guy,
Sure.
Tom Cruise.
Right.
Because he was enthusiastic and he was going out. He was a little out of the ordinary, and a
he's
lot of
just
people
showing
just
his
shat
heart.
on him. just
Showing-
going, "Ha, what a loser! He's jumping on the couch and Oprah." And then but there was one that was pretty funny, and that was when they did the Emperor superimposed electricity on Oprah Winfrey, and she's like getting all.
I love that my reference
We have to
for
put that up
something.
online.
That's my new favorite thing right there.
What's your new favorite thing?
Wait, what's
Well,
your favorite thing?
Oh, I was just gonna say my new favorite thing is the image of Tom Cruise shooting Emperor electricity.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
seen it.
okay. I got to do something. I got to send it to you. You got to look it up.
We'll
Yeah.
put it up on our website.
Awesome. Put it up.
Yeah.
My real favorite thing is it's a site I was checking out because I was just going down some weird rabbit hole about The Shining. Like I haven't seen The Shining in a million years, but I was watching this thing that popped up, and it was this YouTube channel called like there was a series of 3 or 4 videos called "A Detail You Probably Didn't See," in The Shining, or whatever. And the thesis was that Jack, there's basically 2. When The Shining's happening, there's Jack going to the hotel, and then there's Jack going crazy with the novel stuff. All the crazy shit that happens with the killing and the whatever, that never happened. That was a separate thing. That was just in the novel. Like the stuff that plays out in the novel never really happened in the hotel. So there's even details where when they're Shelley Long and what the hell's his name? Jack Nicholson are walking into the hotel the first time. There's like this huge hotel lobby, and there's like
Isn't it Shelley Duvall?
Shelley Duvall. Sorry,
Yeah,
what did I
sorry.
say? Shelley
Shelley
Long.
Long?
Not Shelley Long. Yeah, not her. Not her.
Beverly Hills
Actually,
Troop.
That's the twist. It was Shelley Long the whole time. You never knew it. And she froze in the maze at the end. But no. In the lobby, there's like 2 realities. There's like all these weird statues and stuff. Like there's this wooden statue on top of this huge table while they're in their normal reality. And then when he's writing his novel and he's going crazy, that stuff's not in there. Like when they cut into the lobby later, Kubrick being a guy who was really meticulous about set decorating and all these weird,
Yeah.
like every shot was like perfect, and there wasn't a element on the
He was
screen
a
that he didn't
composition
think about.
like
Greatness is
Perfect.
in the
Yeah,
detail.
so there
perfectionist.
was this conscious choice of changing the sets subtly, but also really drastically between the real life Jack and the novel crazy Jack. So all the killing that happened in the hallways and all the whatever, that was all just in the novel. It never really happened. So it kind of puts a spin on the movie, like wasn't really as crazy as it seemed because it was just all in his novel.
So that's the sort of stuff that
that
you're watching now.
Yeah,
and
that
you're
was
into.
the rabbit hole. Was these
that's crazy. So, oh wow, yeah, I haven't
but
heard
it was
that
cool.
before.
And the videos that I referenced earlier, there, the first one's kind of well done. It's got some video clips and it's audio and whatever. Then the other couple are it's really distracting because it's still images, cut, edited, and then there's text on the bottom, and the text is not cut at the same time as the images. So so it's like, wait, am I still reading that? Oh fuck! And you're looking at it's just like, come on, dude, like figure out your edits there, and it's really distracting, but you still watch them.
So
anyway.
basically, we're watching his novel,
Yeah, and
which is even creepier.
they even show it gets a little weirder. It's like when because there's like that scene in the bathroom where the matron was like, "You've been the caretaker the whole time," blah blah, and there's like some weird clue, and you're going, "What the fuck was that?"
I've seen that and heard of it as well.
Yeah.
Like
And then the thing is, when you start the movie and they're entering the lobby for the first time, there's a dude and he's like invisible in the background, and he's cleaning a shelf or something in the back, and he's wearing that burgundy jacket that Jack wears when he's got the limp, later, and he's going, "Here's Johnny," and all that stuff. So he's the caretaker, and so it's like the character that Jack writes into the novel is a little bit of that guy who you see in that first shot, and Jack makes a conscious point to look at him, and then he even like mocks his limp for a second, and then he keeps walking. There's all this weird little subtle things that are happening, and it's like going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're going like, what the fuck? But Kubrick is crazy enough to sort of like pepper all these layers
This
in.
is a good movie that leaves a lot of loose ends.
Yeah.
And movies that do that,
That's what happens.
Kind of
Yeah.
like leave tons of room for expounding.
Yeah,
look
because
at the
I-
Star Wars universe. for-
Yeah, because I don't see the value as an artist, as someone that's creating something. I don't see any value in hiding information in your
there
thing.
isn't.
unless there's some weird agenda that has something to do with
Well, it could be
that's
like-
something beyond you
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
being put in.
Or unless you get some real good kick out of somebody coming up to you and saying, "Did you really mean this in your film?" And be like, "Yeah."
But
I
they're
did.
dead.
You
They're
thought-
dead by the
That's
time.
for you to decide and
Yeah.
you to figure out. But you
But,
may
the-
just figure
but that's
feel
not
like-
the joy of making a movie or
But I
telling
feel
a
like
story.
Kubrick was a crazy, fucking,
Stupid.
But
that's
I
why-
think he might have been crazy enough to do that.
Unless he was told to, maybe. Like that whole like Da Vinci what was that that movie that
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code kind of shit.
Yeah, like Da Vinci was really like that. That's another thing is that I that leads me into the conversation of I personally hate art critics. Maybe I don't.
You personally hate them?
I personally hate them. I personally
All of them.
hate art critics because I feel like they're full of shit. They're all about that. Like the Mona Lisa had this in there, and this paint stroke meant this, and all this sort of jazz. Like, how much do you honestly, consciously think about what each little stroke is doing in your? Yeah.
He could have been drunk
That's exactly it.
or a sneeze.
He could have been drunk, and everybody's like, "Why is she not as attractive as a lot of his other paintings and stuff?" Because he was probably drunk.
But the
He was like,
person-
Or
"Ah."
he painted a man.
Or it was just like, I didn't really like that. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna shit this out.
No, the personal interpretation of the art is a huge part of what makes it great. But it's like to hear someone else's theory.
When
doesn't
someone
really-
definitively
no,
says
it
like this
doesn't-
is the thing, and you go,
Yeah.
no, it's all
it's
subjective.
just up for interpretation, unless it's very obvious. Like this is thematically what was intended. When you get into kind of
Like when people go, there was 12 people in the thing, and that meant that this prime number or whatever. You go, no.
Yeah,
Like,
just
slow
shut
down.
up.
Prime.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So, John, what's your favorite thing?
I've been watching a lot of Nardwar, the human serviette.
What are you guys talking?
I don't know
about? What
whether
is that?
anything happened to him.
Nardwar, he was
Interviews like pop musicians,
he
punk
wears like
rock
a
musicians.
plaid hat, like a golfer's
He's
hat.
best known for interviewing Snoop Dogg. He has a very good rapport with Snoop Doggy Dogg. I've been kind of really getting it. Well, I always loved him. Every once in a while, I'll start watching his YouTube
I haven't
clips.
seen much of him. What's so great about him?
I feel like
Well, he's Canadian.
He's
okay.
Canadian.
Cool.
He's
He's
a
a
great
Vancouverite.
a great
all right.
Canadian export, and we have very few, in my opinion. But Nardwar is one of them, and I love him in the same way I love Ali G or Pee Wee Herman or even Mr. Bean. Like he's just a very rounded character, and he's very specific.
Right.
Like there's nobody else like Nardwar, and he does these crazy interviews. But and he always brings out props for people to talk about, and he does an insane amount of research for everyone he interviews, no matter how obscure the person is. He'll find out like really deeply personal things about their early career or their childhood. He'll like, I don't know how he finds out this stuff, but it's all things where these people do a million interviews, and then they get this interview by this super eccentric, super high energy, interesting person who's completely, he just has this whole, he's just a super, like he's a really positive person, and he's amazing. I love him.
And he knows everything about
Yeah, he's sort of
music.
got like almost
He's
like
an
an
encyclopedia,
Asperger
yes.
kind of thing where he remembers
check
he
it out.
remembers
Yeah.
everything about all music.
He was popular like in the MTV.
He
or
was,
the
yeah, or
MTV
Much
or
Music, yeah.
days, right? Like he was.
But the point is, the thing that really got me super stoked recently was he was interviewing Pharrell Williams, and Nardwar's interviewing him, and this is before everyone knew, before Pharrell Williams was kind of a household name,
Right.
and Pharrell is just blown away by Nardwar.
Yeah.
And it's like this great thing where Pharrell
Or
Williams
like he
is
can't understand the character he's doing.
no, he can't handle how much research Nardwar's done
Yeah.
and what's happening right now in that interview. Because these people do a million interviews.
And they're used
then
to
all of a
just
sudden
the
they're hit
bullet
with a
points.
guy
Yeah.
who's like done so much research, so much energy's gone into it, so much preparation, and he's doing this weird character. Everything's fucked. And
Yeah.
Pharrell is like losing his mind over it.
Dude,
so
I
that's
feel
my
like-
that's my
I feel like I was
How
at a
did-
show.
How did he lose his mind?
he
on it?
loses his. He's just like having his mind blown like over and over again about what's happening to him in the moment. It's a great video.
Because
you gotta
he's-
look up
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams being interviewed by Nardwuar, the human serviette.
Now, is this just a YouTube thing that you keep looking at, or is it
No, he's
like a
just-
new show or something? Or?
He's had shows on Much Music and stuff, but they're just
You can find a lot.
They're all
of-
on YouTube, and they all have like over 1 million views.
I'm gonna do an outro. You ready?
This means we shit the outro up last time.
No, actually, every single time we've done the outro, I can never do it
Here's
right.
the thing. I've done this how many times? We've never done an outro.
No.
Just fucking nail the outro.
You can see our podcast. I can't see
This is
it.
not going well. This is not happening.
No, that's awesome though. Keep the trend of it screwing up all the
No,
time.
how
at
about
the
this?
end.
Like, if anyone has any, if anyone has anything they want to like plug online, now's a chance to do it, right? This is it. This is it.
How
This
hard
is
it
the
could
outro,
it possibly
man.
be?
The outro's been happening. for the
What,
last
John?
10
I'm
minutes.
trying my best, okay?
Isn't it just like, hey, we got this, that, or the other thing coming up? Do it.
All right,
No.
all right, I'll do it. Hey, we got this stuff coming up.
No. Here's the thing.
do it.
Here's why the outro doesn't work. There's nothing to outro. It's
No.
done.
If we do this again, we have more stories. There's an endless
Oh.
amount of stories from
I-
AK.
I smell some repeat guests.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it smells good.
That's your out. That's your out.
Nice. Yeah.
And
Let's
it
just
smells
cut
good.
I'm done. I'm out. We got there. Somehow.
It's Beer Friday, a group of animators getting together to swap stories and see whose is better. And of course, drink some beer. Yeah, Beer Friday is finally here.
But it's a labor of love. And
I
all
remember
that
being
stuff,
there,
you know?
being there at AKA at like 2 a.m, like you said, and I was working there with this guy Steve, another Steve, but his nickname was Ducky, and he's a 7-foot tall man, and a hilarious guy, and we were both working on this stack of things we had to get done, and had so much work to do, and we were there. It's 2 a.m, and I realized at some point that we're working from the same stack of work, and we're both doing the same work.
Oh no.
And it's 2 a.m, and I just remember grabbing him by his leather jacket, and I felt, you always feel like a child when you're around Ducky because he's so fucking tall, and I was just shaking him, and he was laughing at me,
Yeah.
like you.
Wasn't there a better system than just like?
Yeah. No, it was
Like-
all paper, pencil, and paper.
But
Like
I mean,
we
like,
just.
here's your stuff. Here's my stuff. Let's get to
Yeah,
work.
you couldn't. You thought
No,
you'd
we were
think it would
just-
be as easy as
Yeah,
that to
yeah.
just
I don't
go,
know. We were both
Here's
just.
yours. Here's mine.
Yeah.
Clearly,
to it.
we weren't that bright, but we were
Yeah,
working
yeah.
from this same pile. And I looked over his work, and I looked at mine. I'm like, we're doing the same shit. And
Yeah.
it's 2 a.m, and I've had it. And I just grabbed him, and I was shaking him.
Right,
And he was
right.
laughing at me. And then.
And then you were like a little mouse on his jacket, and he went. Boing.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just like, he thought it was hilarious.